convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. convince us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Barbershop Conversations, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. 1968. Appreciate you, JP, JQ, Keno, and Birdman. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for last night. Last night was an awesome show. Herschel Walker is Herschel Walker is winning. Oh, damn. So I figure we'll cover the elections as it pertains. I'm so glad Stacey Abrams is losing. Oh, man, you have no idea. Oh, man, let me mute this so you guys don't get no background noise. But yeah, it's and I'll say this too. I went to vote today, and I am an official Republican. Man, I was looking at them D's. I was like, I'm not voting for you. I'm an official Republican, dog. I'm not changing over. I'm not going to change my status, or maybe I should, but yeah, man. And I was like, damn, what's up, KB? I was like, man, I wanted no parts of the Democratic Party, man. None. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't. Yeah, I voted Republican on much of everything I could. You know, sometimes in California, you have two Democratic candidates. Yeah, this state is crazy liberal. If Herschel Walker wins, that means people are literally fed up in Georgia. And I want to know, if they had so many votes for Biden, why they don't have so many votes for Stacey Abrams. I believe they stole that election. I'm not even going. I believe that Georgia was stolen in the last election. Who cares now? It's definitely water under the bridge. But if Stacey Abrams don't win, didn't she register 1 million people? I registered 1 million people, guys. That means I'm going to win governor. Yeah, man. I'm an official Republican, dog. I am. I definitely am. Like LA, Rick and Karen Bass are both Democrats, and but DeSantis won. I'm happy DeSantis won down there in Florida. What else? I love the fact that he's anti-immigration, pro-gun laws, and you know, yeah. So I'm happy. Anti-abortion. So I'm really, really happy, man. And I think the older black men get, the more Republican they'll become, whether they believe it or not. They are, you know. I don't think the Democrat Party trusts God as much as they say they do. You know, I'm just gonna pray, baby. But it don't seem to work out that way. But yeah, man, what's going on in boxing? The WBC has mandated Virgil Ortiz to be Terrence Crawford's mandatory, which is cool. which is cool. That makes good sense. There's nothing in the way of that fight happening. But I guarantee you that Earl is gonna want that Terrence Crawford fight, especially if this Terrence Crawford fight gets pulled off and Earl Spence has to go fight a fight for less than $10 million. Oh, he's gonna want Terrence Crawford by any means necessary, because he got to cut the weight anyway. So you might as well get your highest payday. Um, but yeah, man. So we don't know who's mayor in LA yet. Rick or Karen. We'll find out in the morning. But last I checked, Miss Karen Bass was up by 4 points. So but I think it's going to be similar to Tom Bradley, where black people lie on their ballots and say they voting for Karen Bass, especially the men, So um, I'm interested to see how this plays out, man. I'm tired of I'm just tired of old politicians in my city, because I see crime just elevating and graffiti and just it's Los Angeles is not a healthy city right now. I really don't have confidence in my city. Um, and I wouldn't advise nobody to move to Los Angeles. I would advise you to move to uh Camarillo, Oxnard, not Los Angeles, not in the heart of LA. No, 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 no. It's too congested. It's too dirty. Too much crime as well. But I'm real interested to see how this pans out, especially with the senators and the House. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But the topic. Oh, anything else going on in boxing? Oh yeah. You guys sent me that thing on Earl Spence. That was a prank that him and his girl was doing. I actually watched it yesterday. And it was a prank. They were doing voiceovers and like those TikTok pranks or something like that. And um that's yeah, it's yeah, we're not healthy at all, dog, at all, and but it was a TikTok prank. Y'all were sending me stuff like, "Oh, get this." No, it was a TikTok prank. Earl was fine, and um and that's it. But yeah, man. If you have any thoughts of being an actor or an actress, don't come to LA. Try Texas or something like that, man, because get Texas and invest in Instagram ads and YouTube ads and your iPhone, get an iPhone 14 and do what you need to do. People are tired of Georgia, man. People are exhausted in Georgia. If Herschel Walker, a man who cannot talk, a man who betrayed the Republican Party by having abortions, extramarital affairs, if that man wins, wow. I'm just gonna say wow. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That means the Democratic Party has failed, and I'm happy that they failed because I want to hold them accountable, man. Uh, if it changes in 4 years, I'll gladly vote Democrat. But right now, I can't vote Democrat, man. And I'm not advocating you do what I do. I'm just being transparent because since we talk about politics a lot, not doing it. Yo, if this illiterate motherfucker Herschel Walker wins, dog, the Democratic Party is in trouble, man. And the good thing about it is Joe Biden will not be out if Georgia turns red. Joe Biden is in trouble. If Ohio turns red, Joe Biden is in trouble. I'm so excited because Joe Biden should not be present. He's not healthy enough. Um, the fact that he is in office, boy, this guy, man, Warnock is a preacher. He's an incumbent. He's black. If he don't win Georgia, man, that's gonna be horrendous. You know what I mean? And but it's close. We'll see. You say everybody vote Republican. I believe more black men will. I believe more black men will. They wasn't Georgia wasn't red in the national election for president because they stole the election. But DeSantis is down there in Florida. I like what he's doing. He's aggressive like a motherfucker, man. I like him. He talked that ish, man. I like him a lot. And I like Abbott too in Texas. Send them motherfuckers to the vice president's house. You believe in immigration? Well, you house the motherfuckers. Oh man, that shit is hilarious, man. But it's too close to call. 37. I'm watching CNN right now, and yeah, historically it's red. I know that, but when Obama ran, it turned blue. It turned blue for what you call it this past election. But I know historically it's been red, but it's like the with all these industries going to Georgia now, Hollywood is going to Georgia. So that means you got them. So if you do Hollywood stuff, that means you're liberal. I would say the majority of people who are in Hollywood are liberal, because you can't have morals, doing movies and shit. As I'm talking about myself, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like the Hollywood scene. You can't have morals and stay in Hollywood for 40, 50 years. It's hard, man. I look at Al Heyman. He turned his back on the people, man. It's hard. Look at LeBron. Did y'all see that LeBron James video with the rabbi and that was that Hanukkah? Not Hanukkah. What is this? What is that shit called? What is that shit called? He went to a party of a rabbi convict or a Jewish convict or something like that, and he doing like a special handshake, and LeBron can't let his hand go, and isn't that awful? Poor LeBron, man. He needs to be in Get Out 3 because he's about to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record, and no one cares. Yeah. I don't think we're going Democrat for the national. I think black men are going Republican. And I don't think the Democratic Party has a healthy enough candidate. We're not voting for Kamala Harris. We're not voting for Joe Biden. I'm not a Democrat any longer. But they don't have a healthy candidate. Someone who's polarizing and who we can believe in. Yeah. Piece by piece. You're right, T Sizzle. And that's what I'm happy about. And that's what I am happy about, man. I am happy that we are getting their attention and they're gonna have to do right, So Virginia, stand Democrat. But she only won by 10,000 votes, so that could change in a national election. Hey, Trump is gonna destroy America. Man, that whole map gonna be red. Ohio. I think he may lose Pennsylvania, but Ohio, Florida, Georgia. It's a wrap if you get those three, right? Trump is announcing next the 14th, whatever date that is. Next Monday. He's announcing his candidacy. So we'll see how that plays out. But what else we got? So I saw something. Anything else happening in boxing? Anything else that I missed today? Let me check boxing scene because I may have missed something today. How's that fighter doing? Anybody know? Montana Love fights this weekend. That's the only card this weekend, so he should get a lot of views. I actually want to see Montana Love fight, so I'm very interested to see him fight. What else? What else? That's it. No big news today. But as it pertains to the FBA, they had a rally this weekend. And I heard someone say it's a lineage. It's a group. Like it's like a group of people. They physically showed up to rally. They didn't march, they rallied. And rallying and marching don't work for Black people. And when a group resorts to that on a national level, that means they're pretty much paid off. Oh, Miami-Dade County went red. He said that shit. He said that shit in his speech. And I couldn't believe it. I said Miami-Dade County went red. You know, that's the only county I know. There's another one I know, but I can't think of it right now. There's 2 counties in Florida that I know. And yeah, Miami-Dade County went red. I'm telling you, Trump is looking at this like, man, this is gonna be easy. Please run Joe Biden out there. This is gonna be food, man. You know, and I got 2 years to decide if I'm gonna vote for Trump. And I'll say this: this is Woody is Republican. Woody is Republican, but as a mature adult, this is the first time I think I went to the polls and it was more Republicans there than Democrats, you know, just off of observation. I don't know what they were because I voted in a church too. And but it is what it is. So the FBA had a march in DC. The NOI had a Million Man March in DC. Martin Luther King had a march in DC. And America's greatest athlete turned his back on Kyrie Irving. So I say ADOS, FBA, NOI has no value, guys. It has no value in terms of pushing us forward. It may spark conversation. It may inspire us to do something. They may do things on a small scale, and kudos to them. But I don't think none of these groups are advantageous for Black people, because once you march, it's over. Once you march, it's a wrap. It's over, because that's your go-to. I think you got to build infrastructure, and I think you got to buy politicians. You got to create political PACs. You have to go to city council meetings. You have to push the envelope. You have to be financially sound. If you're going to be a group, and it's the one thing we need to learn from the Jews, if you want to be a powerful group, you got to have money. The Nation of Islam has zero money. The FBA looks like it doesn't have money. ADOS looks like it doesn't have money. Who else? LeBron James has money, but he wants to preserve himself. So you got to have money, man. And if you don't got money, you're basically wasting your time in terms of the goal. Now, in terms of the friendships and the kinships that you get as a result of being part of those groups, by all means, you know what I mean? By all means. And if you disagree with me, come in. I see the FBA people in here. If you disagree with me, come on in. You know, so but I think it's a wrap. Once you march, it's over. If you put marching before creating a political PAC or buying a representative, it's a wrap. FBA is not a lineage. It's a group because they march, they rallied. It's not a lineage. It's doing group things. So it sounds like a lineage, but it's not. It's not. What's up, Drew? Go ahead, Drew. Trump 2024, KB. Can't hear you. Got to unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself. Hey, what's up?
My mic choppy? Can you hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, you good.
Relaxing, man, after getting that workout in.
Oh, you at the gym?
No, I got relaxing now. That was a little while ago. No, just watching, seeing what's going on politically, geopolitically, and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just comedy.
Yeah,
Our group's thread, marginal. I say that in parentheses. Marginalized groups still don't get the game.
Mm-hmm.
The game is the game. They showing it to you. Like the Asians don't march, the Jews don't march. They don't have these subgroups like FBA, ADOS vying for control. They're just like, look, we handle our shit in house, and we have no dissension in the public forum. Like when they were complaining, Fred, about like how come, I forget who it was. I think it was Rachel Maddow, that chick on MSNBC. Like, why aren't Latinos unified? I'm like, you don't understand the politics of all these Latin American countries. Just because they Latino don't mean they all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And it's similar. I can't speak specifically for the Black community, but like right now, you see Black men aren't getting their voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to affect, like, why would you vote for somebody that is trying to coddle you and like, oh, you don't know what's best for you? I do, though. It's 2022, Fred. There's too much information to know whether you're full of shit or not.
Right. And it's if you're not coming with money, if you're not coming with 20,000 people, 30,000 people with $20 million, $30 million, you're wasting your time. It's been done already. Martin Luther King had 250,000 people. Farrakhan had 1 million. That's it. But it's not happening. If you want reparations, you got to get a representative. You can't rally and get it. You guys are misunderstanding the point in which I'm making.
Exactly. There's only two ways to get historically. There's only two ways.
No, we can't. Nah, you gone, dog. We can't make out what you're saying. Damn. I'm gonna kick you out and feel free to come back in. All right. Yeah, come back in if you can, Drew. I'm not, you can call it what you want. You can call it you're a descendant of FBA. Your ADOS. Pick whichever one you want. You're not getting reparations by marching. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not happening. It's not. Farrakhan had 1 million people. Martin Luther King had 250,000. It's not happening. You guys are missing my point. You can have, it's a lineage. Okay, you can have it. Do you have a politician in your pocket? Do you have a politician that is accountable to you? Do you have one? You got to have a politician that is accountable to you. Why do you think you have all these? I'm drawing a blank. What do you call those people? And
lobbyists.
Lobbyists. Thank you, dog. Why do you think they have these lobbyists? They donate millions of dollars to these people's campaign.
Yeah, they create those PACs, Fred, those super PACs, which are 501c3s that are nonprofits, and they move money around. Mm-hmm. It's 2022, Fred. All the information is there for us to know the game and play it. Like you're saying, there's only two ways to get reparations. Either you take it by force, or you lobby it through these super PACs like the Jewish people do, like the Asian people do. And look at who's what's one of them big banks like JP Morgan.
Right.
They lobby on both sides. So it don't matter who's in there. Oh, you took $100 million for this camp. Like, okay, cool. You owe us a couple favors.
Right. Right. No, you're right. And I'm only being pragmatic. I don't care who is a part of it. Y'all are blah blah blah. Tariq Nasheed, ADOS. I don't care who's in charge of these people. I'm actually giving y'all game to help y'all. We chose to. I'm not saying. I'll say we as Black people. We chose to donate for a museum, then create a political PAC. Do you guys understand where I'm going? It's not happening.
It's fucked up, Fred. It's like we chose, like Black people chose to donate to a museum to keep visiting the trauma, keep identifying like we went through this. Like, okay, we went through that, we know that. How do we not never do that again? Like the way the Jewish folks, like, and I respect them for that. Like, oh, we never gonna let y'all forget what we went through, but now we're gonna run up this bag now.
Right. And you're pretending like doing the same thing will get you different results. It's not gonna get you different results. Either we gonna pick up our arms or empty our bank accounts. Those are only two options, y'all.
And that part, and if you study warfare and you study history of like how coups gone, how nations are built, specifically in Latin American communities here in America and Black communities, the sellouts bloodlines are the ones prospering still. So there still needs to be civil war within our own communities before we can do the macro stuff. But people don't want to have that. We don't want to have that conversation. Like, you have generational bloodlines of overseers that sell out to the establishment for generations.
Right.
And someone like you, Fred, a sovereign thinker, you could trace your whole bloodline. Your whole bloodline's always been sovereign in terms of prospering. You go whatever your bloodline was 1,000 years ago. That man, that lineage did all right. Because look where you at now.
Right.
Sometimes it's just some bloodlines are stronger than others. And the ones that are strong, like yourself, like, you're looked at as crazy because certain stuff you say your bloodline's been free from that mental bondage for a while now.
Right.
Look at how you raised Lincoln and Kennedy. They're not victims. They're conquerors.
Right. And that's the purpose, man. I know how to win, and information. And when you get the capital, you apply that information, and that's how you become successful. People think galvanizing a rally is just emotion, celebration. A rally is not a place where you give tactical information. It's not. I've never seen it, and I've been a part of many, relatively speaking, but that's not the solution. Compare any rally you want historically. We rallied for 18 months. I had a meeting with the mayor. I had a meeting with the mayor's office during COVID. I never told you guys about it. Because I had a 10-point plan, and I had a meeting with them, and they didn't agree with it, but that was my move. And my second move was creating a group of men to protect our community, and no one wanted to come with me. So so we resort to going into the streets and marching. And I felt guilty being home. I felt kind of guilty being comfortable at home because COVID did impact me. The only thing it impacted Dre a lot. It impacted my family, but it didn't impact us in terms of finances, in terms of our health, thank God, and in terms of quality time with family, because I don't mind homeschooling my kids. So it didn't really impact me. So I'm telling you, when we have the information, but we still revert back to marching. And it's becoming laughable at this point that the intelligent people, the middle class and the Black community, will do the same thing they did in 63, August of 63. Is that what it was? Or 62? Yeah. August of 63. October of 95, and now November of 22. We doing the same shit.
And we can't use that excuse anymore of the counterinsurgency from COINTELPRO, because we know what happened now.
Right.
The Panthers had it right, though. That was the last group that, like, no, you can't hang out in this community if you're not doing some work.
Right. And it's and you're talking to a guy who believed that politics was the answer. You understand? Like, for those you don't know, I ran for city council and I lost in Whittier, and I would have won the second term, but I chose to leave Whittier and get wealthy. Like, I chose to say, you know what? I'm moving to LA and I'm about to get rich. And that's the reality of the game, man.
Well, like we talked, Fred, you had that awakening. You said, like, the real players are the players behind the scenes. That's where the real power is.
Oh, we damn sure did.
That's where the real power is, where I don't know who that person is, but the right people know who you are.
Right. And every election, because they know how much property I own, I get a call. Hey, can we put this on your property? Can we put this?
And it's not even Fred, right? It's Mr. Hawthorne.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they know in a local election, I can give you maybe 300 to 500 votes. You get what I'm saying? So,
and that's where you earn the currency and the financial stability to get that. Those 300 votes, to them, that's more power than money right there. Once you get that part of it, that's where the power is.
Right. No, you're right. And I just want us to move smarter. And being repetitive is not the answer. It's definitely not the answer, dog. And I know it sounds weary talking to people who's only done things one way. You know, it's a cathartic experience to matriculate from going against how you're supposed to live being Black. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to live a certain way. You're supposed to vote a certain way. You're supposed to dress a certain way. You're supposed to talk a certain way. And I understand that for many of us, it's a conundrum, because you think that's selling yourself out. You think that's acting white.
And I didn't see that, Fred, as a observer outside. I grew up in the Bay Area, so just around the urban Black and brown experience. So when I got to USC, you saw the different socioeconomic groups, and the Black and brown from the hood, they wanted to get away from that stuff. But the middle class and upper middle class, they wanted to experience that, because in some fucked up way, that's considered being authentic. The stuff you're trying to get away from, they want to go glamorize and like try it on like it's a costume.
No. And feel free to beam in, y'all. This is an intimate setting tonight, man. No, the answer is we got to buy these politicians. That's the answer, man. That's the only answer. Oh, this L. What's up, L?
What up, Freddie?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Who is that? Birdman?
No,
Drew.
Who?
Drew.
Oh, what's up, Drew? How you doing, brother?
No, just relaxing, brother. Had a good day. Safe out there in the rain.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's been raining, man, but I'm trucking though, man. Just staying safe, man. But tuning in the on the conversation, man, and I believe much like I've always believed since I was young, and with my extensive studies of history, as well as just people watching and learning people, especially our people in particular, gotta go back to the beginning, man. Like I tell everybody all the time, man, this country was built upon the power structure of this country is predicated upon, for one, is racism. For two, we were specifically chosen to be burden bearers in this country. Like, we were specifically chosen. So their power structure was designed to have a class of people that were going to be the superiors and a class of people who were going to be the inferiors. We were specifically hand chosen to be the inferior population in this country. Now, as history has shown us, we've done a multitude of things to get just a bit above that. And that's all. That's really all we done, was just got a bit above slavery. That's it within this power structure. Now understand this. How was this power structure built? Slavery and racism, and also wars. So unless we willing to just pull ourselves up out of the system, see, people always say, especially black people, you get all these different groups, you get all these different political parties, you know, black political parties. And I understand they vying for to get establishment and have some kind of power within this white man system, within America. But understand this, as long as we have attachment to the system, you are going to be in line with their power structure. Remember where you are at in that power structure. Nigga, you are the burden bearer. You are the lowest inferior subject of this power structure. They not changing that for nothing. I don't know why niggas don't want to get that and don't want to understand that. It's not happening. They are not relinquishing this power to nobody. They're not giving it to Russia. They're not giving it to North Korea. They're not giving it to China. Nigga, this shit gonna have to go to shits and ruins first. They definitely not giving it back to a black man. So all these people that's talking about, oh yeah, blacks, we need to get this and we need to get that. As long as you want to still be a part of the system, then you're gonna have to be accepting of what they got for you, because we don't have nothing. We don't have a power structure of our own. So unless we ready to go to war like they did, and unless we ready to inflict upon them the tribulation that they inflict upon us, it's not gonna happen. Not within this system. Like I've always liked Marcus Garvey ideals, Pan-Africanism. Like, we need to be working on, if we're talking about getting anywhere in this world, we need to be working back on getting over there, getting the connection back to over there, to Africa. Now, even though we got bad blood, historically there's been bad blood because they don't accept us. But if we looking for a place in the world, that's really the only place for us. My personal opinion, but in America, nah. We ain't gonna have no.
Yeah, well, if we go through history, no dominant society, no dominant group in any empire gives it up. The Ottomans had to take it from the Byzantine empires.
That's a fact.
The Moors took it from the Spanish and the Italian. The Spanish took it from the Aztecs. So we're just repeating ourselves.
Way of war.
Yeah, there is.
Let them finish.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So,
go ahead,
yeah, so if we gotta recognize that first. We're just repeating all these things. Like, what's funny about America is that it's on its decline. So where this power structure is set up on autopilot for the people at the bottom. The power people here in this country, they're fighting off the Chinese. They're fighting off the Russians because 50 years from now, because they're coming. Because President Xi and them, their logic over there is like, we have a righteous retribution to get back at the British for what they did to us. That's how they think over there. And you got to respect it, because President Xi, for example, he comes like, look, I'm living up to the legacy of Mao. Putin over there is like, I can't make the mistakes Boris Yeltsin or Gorbachev made. I got to do like Stalin did. So the dilemma we're in here is that it's all autopilot, because we haven't, like I was telling Fred, we haven't had the civil war within these marginalized groups to get rid of the traitors to even go after our macro enemy.
See, this is when, bro, this is when the conversation becomes dangerous. As soon as you start talking about civil wars and stuff like that, that's when it's like, it becomes dangerous. But you see, the reality of it is, I hear everything everybody's saying. You saying the structure, and as long as we accept the structure, and I'm assuming you mean basically like just the American system, right?
Are you talking to me or him?
Him, because he kept saying the structure. I'm not like I'm just assuming because like I'm just replacing that word with the structure. Then you see, as long as we within the structure, like you said, it's set up for us to follow their rules and guidelines as a part of being a part of their structure. So what's the real conclusion then? Like I'm hearing what you're saying, and then you just finished it off, Drew, with what you said as far as there ain't been no civil war here. So you thinking like that? That's kind of crazy. You see what I mean? Like it starts getting crazy when you start thinking that way.
Well, because you have to, Rashawn, we really have to look at it through a wartime strategy lens. We have to, because
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's the structure. It's the structure, and it's the way this country. The difference between this country and all the other countries, though, is like, bro, we're at this point in time where we're gonna either figure out how to survive in the structure or just get the hell out of it. That's what I think, because what it sounds like you guys were like low key alluding to, and I'm not saying y'all was, because it's like it was about to go there. It sounded like you was about to say we need to start a civil war, bro.
What I'm saying is, let me retort real quick at what I'm saying as far as that. When we look at the power structure, we look at how the dominant people keep their power. They have generations of overseers, just like, like in slavery times, they had the brother in the field, the brother in the house. Those generations of people in the house have power now. So if you still have your overseers' bloodlines for the last 300 years as the barrier to taking back some power, you can't take on your true enemy till you deal with the one civilly and within your own house. You know what I mean? That's just basic war strategy right there, war tactics.
So with that said, bro, basically at this point, bro, that's the issue. Everything at this point is too corrupted.
It is, bro. We're gonna start over. We have to start.
It's too corrupted. So we just kind of gotta rock with where we're at. And this is the deepest, saddest part. It's like all y'all right, bro. But what you said was very deep. You said as long as people are going to stay in the structure, they got to accept what the structure has for them. So at this point, bro, we're all in this looping cycle. I know that's what you said, bro. That's what I'm saying. But we're all in this looping cycle. There's nothing we can really do about it except try to figure out how to duck and roll with the punches, bro. Back to boxing, y'all. Back to boxing. Life is boxing, y'all. Got to slip and roll with the punches and win.
Kyle, and then L can follow up behind him. Kyle, you want to get off? You want to say something?
Yeah, man, once we get out of our own way, man, and understand what it is to be a community, then, we can build. You know what I'm saying? But we too divided, bro. They done a great job of dividing us. You know what I'm saying? So, it's hard when people, man, you want to trust somebody, but then it's always a crook. You know what I'm saying? You want to trust somebody, but there's always somebody in the background for them to put in the mix to fuck up everything. The Black Panthers, a prime example. You know what I'm saying? They'll put somebody in there to fuck up the whole situation. So I mean, it's too easy to be bought, man. They've been buying niggas for a long time. They know what kind of money to offer niggas. So
Nah, and that's the deepest part. That's the deepest part, bro. Exactly what you said. And that's where I'm going with this, bro. Because like what y'all saying is basically we ain't gonna come together. Then we just gotta figure out how to survive in their system. So at that point, bro, it's a free for all. Because like you just said, bro, we can't trust nobody. You can't really trust people when they're trying to come together, bro. Listen to what Fred was just saying. Fred said he organized this whole thing and nobody wanted to go up there with him. Y'all left Fred high and dry. I wish I would have known about this back then, man. I would have probably tried to figure something out. But you see what I'm saying? This is the stuff that goes on. So then what do, Fred? You live your life to the best of your abilities and start thinking about who? Yourself. Like you said, Team Hawthorne, right? That's the way we all have to start thinking when we don't freaking want to team up and work together. And that's the issue. No one wants to work together. So at that point, we got to figure out how to survive in this system that's set up for us, y'all.
Yeah, no, because where we're at now, we're an interesting time in human existence when I'm in my late
I
30s. All the other fellas here are grown men. So when we're in our like 60s and 70s, and AI, artificial intelligence, is at full scale, taking over all these service jobs, and there's extreme poverty on a level we've never seen. There's not going to be no time for like race stuff. It's just going to be pure
Oh shit.
classes.
Sorry, L. Damn. Sorry. Call back, L. I'm sorry. I hung up on you by accident. Go ahead. Go ahead, Drew.
So now, like Rashawn said, we have to prepare for what's next, because in our lifetime, we're not going to see men of color dominate the global world structure like they did 3,000-4,000 years ago. It goes in waves. That's it. Just if we look at history, it goes in waves. So in our actual lifespan, we're not going to see it. Our ancestors might see it in 500 years or another millennium. But right now, all we can do is prepare for the offspring to be in a position to weather that storm when the next depression comes in a way we've never seen.
Yeah, and before Jerry goes, I'm gonna push back a little bit, because when we say they dividing us, and when we say we were the first to be here, and then we say they keep on dividing us, it's it's laughable at this point, man, because now we're saying, man, the white man is stronger than us. The white man is smarter than us. He can outmaneuver us. And then we say, what's up, king? What's up, queen? No, man, like this same system, Rome crumbled, okay? Rome crumbled. Mansa Musa crumbled. So what I'm saying is, this same system that we have in America, and by the way, Marcus Garvey never made it to Africa. He actually died in the UK, right? If I'm not mistaken. So he had an option to go to Africa, and he chose to stay in the UK. But the point I want to make is this same system that we say that they're winning at, we don't want to take it over.
Exactly.
We don't.
Talk about it.
No desire to take it over. But when you hear a voice like mine, y'all can't even recognize it. Oh, Fred, take that. Why you didn't take the job with ESPN? Because I know in 10 years I'm gonna be okay. Why you didn't take that $1 million deal from Warner Brothers? Why you not fighting to get your credentials back? No, I was spooked by the door. I was getting the information. I was getting the power. I was getting the leverage that it offered. And I attached that, and I turned that into information, and I created the shop. And now it's its own entity, and it's as powerful, if not more powerful, than it was when I was doing the fights. But nobody wants to do it. Everybody, because you know what's going to happen in 10 years? Everybody in 10 years, if you've been on your job for 10 years, you've had enough money, enough time, and you got enough information to separate yourself. It's your choice. It's your option to do what you want to do. And but you know what we do? We go on vacations. We want to enjoy life instead of taking the power. You understand? Our grandparents told us to be afraid of the white man, respect the white man, play by their rules. You know, open up the door for the white man. Say yes, sir. Say no, ma'am. You know, and that has carried over, and now we're marching. And now we say the government took the black man out the home. How the fuck can the government take me out the home if I ain't commit a crime? Explain to me, how can the government take Fred out of this house that I paid for out of my house? These are all talking points that have minimum to no validity. If you don't commit crimes, why is the government taking you out your house? Because you slept and procreated with a person that you didn't see forever in. That's the honest to God truth. You didn't have a financial plan in place. You didn't believe in God before you ejaculated in that man, or you let the vice versa. You didn't have a God-fearing plan. You didn't look that woman in the eye and say, I trust you to bury me. I trust you to take care of the kids. We don't have these plans in place. So I think that is a fraud. And I remember we had this conversation with Hannibal and E and Champion Heart. I completely disagree. No man can take me out of my house. No, because Drake, if that's the truth, Drake should have left me a long time ago when our salaries flip-flopped. When I went from making $100,000, over $100,000, maybe 120, 130 when I was training and teaching, to get cut in half. Now I'm making 70. And now she's making 300,000. She should have left me. No, it didn't work out that way. What she saw, she had enough confidence and the wherewithal to see forever in me. And now at 41, 45, it's autopilot. We are living in a big city and we're off the grid per se. We have created our own power structure. And I think we got to look ourselves in the mirror and stop using these damn talking points. Oh, the government did this. No, you want to be a part of the government. You want to be a part of the government. You want to complain. Yeah, that's your goal every day, to wake up and complain. Oh man, this power structure, man, keeping me. No, you just spent $20,000 on a car you didn't need. You just bought jewelry instead of investing in stock. This same fucking system that Fred has become a fucking multi-millionaire. The same fucking system that when I started off in debt, $30,000 in debt, Fred started off at $30,000 in debt. I was $30,000 in the hole before I got my first job. I flip-flopped that shit into millions through perpetuity because I'm never going to stop collecting rent. I'm never going to stop collecting equity. You understand what I'm saying? So I think these talking points are just engraved in us to make us say, "Oh, I'm inferior."
Yeah, no,
and you're signaling on a point for it where it really comes down to self accountability.
Exactly. And the issue is we're not taught self accountability. That's the deepest part right there, is what you like how you just said it. But a lot of, like, I'm telling you, I met this young dude about the same age as me. I'm saying young because he acted like a fucking 18-year-old. Some of these dudes is 30, bro, and they're not that smart. Like, I'm starting to realize that we got a lot of, they don't have no male guidance and they are like stupid. So we can sit here and question why they have that mindset, why they so scared of the system. Because I know a lot of dudes, bro, that like that's how they are. They're scared of the system. They kind of slow, bro. And it's like, what's wrong with y'all? You see, we talk about it though, like, oh, it's the structure. Instead of figuring out how the fucking structure operates so we can learn how to run, operate in it. For example, bro, we on this earth and we all got cars. You got to figure out how to fucking drive the car. You can't be sitting there complaining, catching the bus about the way the car cycle is flowing instead of learning how to flow like everybody else. You got to catch the groove and roll, or get the hell out of the country. Basically, is what I'm gathering from it. And this is me learning myself, bro. Like, I listen to all y'all, and I'm coming to that conclusion as I meet and talk to more dumbass people. To be honest with you, because that's what it is. You start realizing that they're not being accountable as you listen to them. You should have seen
when I traveled abroad last year and realized just the basic level of intelligence of someone in London to compare to someone in Los Angeles, and this is across the racial spectrum. It was mind-blowing how just more informed that citizen was compared to someone I know in New York or Los Angeles. Just because they're exposed to a global perspective of what's going on all over the world.
Jerry and then L got cut off because then I'll bring you in, Michael Fuller. Go ahead, Jerry.
Let me go after Mike Fuller. I just want to talk. I really want to just talk. Let me touch on your credentials right quick. So, talking to Fred, right, and being around Fred, I realized your credential is only good for one day. You only need a credential one time, like one day out the week. You don't need it for the whole weekend, bro. Honestly, and to be honest with you, if you can build most of the relationships on your own merit, you don't even need no credential. And I tell a lot of the people that I roll, I'm like, bro, you don't need that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you could do that shit on your own. Because most of these people, they act, you know what gym they're gonna be at when they're in Vegas, you know where they staying at, you know what hotel they're gonna be at, so you really don't need them for nothing, right? So today, they took my boy Lalo. They took his credentials today. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I told him, I'm like, bro,
They took his. Where is he?
huh?
Where is he?
What do you mean?
There's no fights. Why did they take his credentials?
No, they top rank.
What's the fight this weekend? It's a fight this weekend.
Who's fighting?
Janabek.
Oh, he is. I want to see him fight. Good.
Yeah, it is. Anissa Estrada's fighting on the same card. But I'm saying that to say his page is bigger than Top Rank's page. So he don't really need them for real. That's all. So we don't really need them. Honestly, if you can get it on your own, and do it your way. Like, I'm a Frank Sinatra type of nigga. Like, however this shit go, I did it my way. I didn't do it no other way. I did it the way that I wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? In the words of the great philosopher Terrence Keep, I really hate when niggas give me suggestions. But go ahead, Fred.
No, Jerry want to go. Then L. Then we'll bring in Michael Fuller. I wouldn't dare bring in Michael Fuller after
Fred,
after
Carl,
Jerry.
everybody on the panel. What's up, guys? I hope you guys are doing well tonight. I'm moderate conservative. I'm praying that this expected red wave actually happens because the Democratic Party, in my estimation, is I don't know how anybody could be a Democrat in today's current climate, and especially black folks. If you look across the country where black folks have it the worst, it's in Democratic-run cities and across the board. That's not coincidence. That's by design. Democrats have been hustling black folks for centuries since slavery, because it was the Southern Democrats who were the slave owners. And they still doing it to this day. And one way they do it is welfare. Republicans were never against welfare. And in fact, welfare came about through Republicans. But Republicans will also push for what's known as welfare reform. And this isn't an effort to take money from poor people and make them starve, whether you're white or black. This is an effort to keep the system from turning into bureaucracy where generations of people are, and I have this in my own family, and my mother was on welfare. And to be honest with you, the situation that we had, if she wasn't on welfare, I don't know how we would have got by, me, her, and my younger brother. So I believe in welfare where it's needed, but we all know that white folks are just as guilty. But, you know, welfare is not good. And it's my understanding Martin Luther King was against welfare. He knew how damaging that would be for his own people, because when you constitute a provision that if you get welfare and government assistance, that you can't have a male in the house, right there, you're destroying the family unit, white or black. That's by design. And what they do is when Republicans say, well, we want to institute welfare reform, which is what got my mother off of welfare. When my brother turned 18, they told her, look, we're going to send you for some training, some clerical training and this and that. And she had to get off of welfare because, frankly, from a physical perspective, she was able to work. And really, it worked out great for her because she hadn't worked really her whole life, except for like a job she had when she was 16 or 17. But it worked out well for her. She finished working. By the time she got done, she was working at West Virginia State University, and she's retired now, and she's a homeowner, and there's a small house, but really it was a good thing. So when I see movements like the Black conservative movement, it makes me feel good about things, because I see people that are realizing that the Democrat Party has been hustling y'all for the longest time. Slavery still exists in that party. It just comes in the form of a welfare application. And provisions like not having the male in the house is the most destructive thing. Now, granted, if you truly have it, if you're a young mother and you have kids and the father just won't be accountable and he runs away, I mean, you can't, we're too rich of a country to let anybody have to live in poverty like that, white or black or Latin, regardless. So we're going to take care of our own. But in the big picture, it's such a bureaucracy. And like I say, you know, and Biden is a perfect example. The minute Biden took office, things started getting bad, and they've only gotten worse. He's hired all these IRS agents claiming that he's going to go after the top 1%. You don't need 90,000 new agents to go after the top 1%. He's lying out his mouth. What he's going to do is he's going to go after middle-class business owners like me who really can't afford to pay the tax rate that the current government has instituted, and it's going to cripple Americans across the board in a surge in an economy right now that is not good, and high inflation, high fuel costs, everything. Now he's going to institute in the spring these new tax laws that are going to hurt middle class America, white or black, whatever you are. It doesn't matter. And the best thing that can happen is for a lot of folks, minorities, to realize that this Democratic Party does not have your back. And all you got to do is look at the Democrat-run cities, and you'll see across the board that's where minorities have it the worst. And you know, that's what I got to say about that. I don't want to take up too much time.
Go ahead, Al. Then I'll bring in Michael Fugg. Go ahead, Al.
That was a lot of good points that Jerry made, and you made. I'm gonna go back to what we were speaking about earlier, and you made a lot of good points yourself, Fred, and that's what I'm gonna choose to speak on. Now we was talking about how the methods that blacks need to use in order to come up as a union, right? But you basically gave the answer by giving examples of the things you done. And I'm closer, more believing in that. Like I've always said, I wanted to lend my expertise and, you know, my heart, my soul to the problems of black people. That was my goal when I was a kid. Like I told my grandmother, I said, I want to be the next Martin Luther King. You know, and then when I learned about Malcolm X, when I got about 14, 15, when I was in high school, I learned about Malcolm X, and I said, hey, Malcolm had the real answer. But then I said, look what these niggas did to Malcolm, though. And then I started, you know, studying all the other black groups and all the other black leaders. So I fast forward until today, and I'm a grown man now. I got full clarity and full understanding of everything now. You know, and I'm still learning, but for the most part, I got a full understanding, an in-depth understanding of all these things. And I see this, and I made this point a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of, motherfuckers got on my head about it, you know. But I said, I'm not looking to save Black America because I know I can. I can help those who want to be helped and say, look, man, there's an opportunity for you to do X, Y, and Z. But as far as helping, try to save us collectively, I don't know who the brother that mentioned this earlier, but we already have people within the system that are sellouts and have been that for years. Like I've concluded this, and it's clear. If you just pay attention, it's very clear. This system is designed for have and have-nots. I had these conversations when I was a kid. I challenged my teachers. Every teacher I had, I challenged them. I told them, I said, there's no fucking way in America that what you teaching me is true. The white picket fence in a house for everybody don't exist. It's impossible, man. This country was built upon the have and the have-nots. Black people, we were positioned to be the have-nots. And as time progressed, and even when we started to progress within the system and found ways to rise up, they systematically found ways for us to adopt lesser ways in which we could even try to rise up. Like Jerry said, oh yeah, just take this welfare. Y'all, we know y'all ain't gonna get nowhere now. Or we'll give you the appearance that we for equality and let a few of y'all become millionaires. But start talking like Kanye and Kyrie. We gonna show you just a nigga. So if you still want to be attached to the system in any way and try to push for some black levitation, it's counterproductive. It don't go together because this system is not gonna change. Point blank. Period. It is what it is. But I'm gonna let Mike come in. I want to hear what Mike got to say.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. All right. So of course I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the system is the way it is and it's not going to change. Right. All the different advances that society has made to be more humane, those advances were made because someone went out and fought against the way things were. It didn't just happen out of thin air. People got together collectively, saw that there were problems, and they stood up to what was wrong and demanded that things were changed to be right. And so I don't agree with that. I think that we're just at another phase now where we understand the things that are being done that are wrong. And a lot of people do. I won't say everyone does. A lot of people understand that, and it's just time to stand up and demand that the right things be done. Right. And so if we just say, oh, the system's the way it is, you can't change it, that's not the right approach. If that was the case, the country would never have existed, right? There never been a Boston Tea Party, or there never would have been a Civil War, where the North actually was able to keep the South from seceding from the Union, and Black people would still be in chains. So that's not the right approach. We have to look at what's going on, identify what's wrong, and then take the right steps to fight against that wrong and demand the right things to be done. As far as like the entrepreneurship that you were talking about, Fred, and a lot of people were talking about, not everyone in this society is going to be an entrepreneur. I'm not making excuses for anybody. I'm just saying that not everyone's going to have that particular drive or mindset. But there is enough resources in the country. There's enough money here. There's enough natural and human capital that everyone should have a certain baseline life or existence if they actually get up and go to work every day. They should not be working poor. There should not be working poor and working homeless in the United States of America. That should not be happening. So I don't think that every Black person or every white person or every Asian person or every Hispanic person or every Native American person should have to be an entrepreneur in order to have a certain lifestyle in this country if they are a working individual that gets up and goes to work. They should not have to own their own business in order to survive. There's too much here. There's a wealth gap between, like we said before, I do agree about those who are extremely rich and they're trying to get rid of the middle class. Like, I think Jeremy mentioned that already. What I would like to, I want to add, are you listening, Jerry? You still there?
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to ask you a question here. Okay. You said that the cities, the inner cities that are doing extremely bad, those are cities that are run by the Democratic Party. You mentioned that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're basically saying that there's some culpability in regards to the state of those particular communities that are associated with the Democratic Party's actions or policies. Is that what you're saying, or did you understand my question?
Could you say it again?
Okay, you're saying that there's some culpability associated with the Democratic Party's actions or policies related to the conditions of those communities. in those inner cities.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, can I piggyback on this?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Me too, bro.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish. So based on that, the actions and the policies of the Democratic Party are have a role in producing that situation that exists within those inner cities. That's what I got from what you said. So that's why folks who live in these inner cities, in these disadvantaged communities, should not vote for the Democratic Party. Is that a right interpretation of what you were trying to communicate?
Yeah, I would say that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. Now, all right, based on that, I don't see how you could say something like that. But then when I asked you if Black people were oppressed in America yesterday, you said no. Where you just mentioned, hold on, you just mentioned that. You just said that the oppressed state of people who live in inner cities, which are mostly, Black people that live in these inner cities, you don't see how we would vote Democrat because of the policies and the actions of the Democrats, which really means that the policies and the actions of the Democrats are culpable or responsible, partly, at least in part, in regards to the situation that exists in these communities. So I don't see how today it's okay and you make the inference that there's oppression, but yesterday, because it was inconvenient, you said, no, it's not. So which one is it?
Well, I'll tell you, I never used the word oppression in regards to the point that you just expressed. I said where minorities have it worst. Yeah, I didn't use the word oppression because I defined that a little bit differently, and that's a whole different argument. But I'll give you one case in point. Downtown in Baltimore City is a lot of Black minorities, okay? That's just a fact. The mayor down there 2 years ago said, we're a sanctuary city. We're not, if a whole bunch of immigrants come here, meaning another group of minorities, we're not going to do enough about it. And I thought, man, what a bad idea that is. You got a lot of poor Black people downtown and not a whole lot of jobs. And you're just going to let this other group of minorities come in there. Don't you see how that's going to hurt the people that live downtown? You see what I mean? Now, would I label that oppression necessarily? No, I would just say that's bad policy from the That's bad policy from the Democrats to do something like that. Because anytime you replace one minority with another minority, you're going to make the first minority, you're going to make it hard on them. So contrary to what people might want to believe, I'm for Black folks. Man. Black folks' forefathers paid the heaviest of prices so that Black people can have their piece of the American pie. But when I see policies like that, and why the Democrats want immigrants here, because they want to get their vote. Because a lot of Spanish immigrants, they vote Democratic, at least for a while. But what I've learned is they're far more conservative. Once they get here and they start working and they start seeing how things work, they're not as liberal. But in the upfront, they represent votes, and they sell it. In my opinion, it's a sellout to the Black minority that's in Baltimore City to constitute that type of policy. And they said, even if they find these immigrants on the street, they're not going to do nothing about it. Well, what happens is those immigrants take the jobs of the minority that's already there, whose forefathers pay the heaviest price to be there. Now, in Maryland's a mostly white state, but a good chunk of the county and the city is Black minorities, and the Baltimore City is entirely run by Black government officials, the mayor, the state's attorney, the police, and now we have a Black governor just as of tonight. Okay. And so I wonder, is it what the problem is? And I do stand by these democratic cities where minorities have it bad due to policies. I wouldn't call it oppression, Mike. Okay. I wouldn't say that necessarily, because I do believe you can rise above it, but I would call it bad policy that could have oppressive qualities. I'll give you that.
Okay,
yeah.
So
let me bring in Champion Heart, and then we can. Go ahead, Champ.
That's I don't agree with that. That's oppression. There's not equitable treatment. It's oppression. Whoever's not being treated equitably is being oppressed. Period. It's not hard, Jerry. You're a smart guy. It's not hard. But I agree with you. That's happening. That's happening. I agree with you. But I'm saying that is oppression.
Yeah, champ.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, how you feel, dog?
All right. See what that ginger tea does for you? I'm back. Salute to my brother, Michael Fuller, man. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. My brother was Sean and Kyle. How you brothers doing?
I'm good, bro.
All right, man. I was watching last night, man. That was a good show. I hate I missed that. But let me come in on some things real quick, man. Hey, Fred, 1 minute though. Did you get the email? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, let me come in here. You know what? I really, don't have to speak on the points that you have brought up, Fred, when we had that conversation. Surprisingly, Jerry came in here and said exactly what I was going to say. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't talking points, Fred. That's by design, just like he said. So I didn't even have to come in and say that because he already said it for me. The thing is that we have to. I look at how, even though regardless to how I may feel concerning reparations, you would never hear me speak negatively about it out loud. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that they look at. They look at the fact that we are constantly separated on all levels. It's not just not brothers on a lower scale. It's brothers on an upper scale as well. I look at how Roland Martin argues with Tariq Nasheed instead of saying, I have a different perspective, but what can I do to help you? Since he has a platform, you know what I'm saying, that people are following, but yet, no, he doesn't do that. He goes, you dumb fools, y'all ain't gonna get nothing. Why would you do that? You understand what I'm saying? The thing is that, like you were saying, Fred, of course there's legislation, but what I want to ask is, why is it that our group, that Black people are the only people that have to jump through all these hoops? All the other groups have gotten reparations, but yet, we have to pay these politicians, have this meeting, we got to do all these jumping through all these hoops, but yet none of these other groups have to do that. Why only us? What does that say? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of the fact that because we are a powerful people historically, why is it that is the fear of us having resources will mean their detriment? You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself that. Why is it no other group, has to jump through these hoops that receive reparations, have to jump through these hoops?
Hey, champion.
Yeah.
I've got a quick answer to that. I'll just one second. The most practical one, I don't think it's the main one, but the most practical one that everyone can see is that just for the labor alone, the unpaid labor. This was back about 5 years ago. A economist mathematician came up with this. $29 trillion. Just for the labor alone. And that's before this hyperinflation that we're in now. Right. Just for the unpaid labor, I'm not talking about the pain, suffering, the murder, all that other atrocious stuff that went on. None of that, just for the unpaid wages, 29 trillion. So that's why.
That's why. I will say that there's one thing that Rashad said that I agree with. And, to address what you were saying, Fred, about talking points, Rashad was basically saying that being how the system is, we have to learn how to move in it. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have to be aware of it, you know what I'm saying? Not more or less consider yourself a victim, but be aware of it and know how to move. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that when you say talking points, and when I say no, these are things by design, I will ask you, how did the Iran Contra war get funded, Fred? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the Iran Contra war got funded?
Yes.
Okay, that's not talking points. That's by design. You understand my point?
No, I understand that, and I also understand the foundation of wealth, the foundation of
Mm-hmm.
fortifying yourself.
Right.
We hold ourselves out, whether it's through hip hop, whether it's through if a man or a woman works 30 years on a job and
Mm-hmm.
can't secure his family, he's failed. Period. If a man gangbangs for 30 years, he's failed. And we can argue or debate in any direction we want. But I guarantee you, when you look at the stats, and you said, man, I made $3 million over my lifetime and I'm still renting. I don't have a wife. I got 3 baby mamas. Every time I get fired, I say, I try and get another job. I get fired again, I get another job. So we can go back and forth. The system is ours. Because guess what? We say we were first, right? Wasn't we the mothers of creation?
Well, the
This
black woman
this
your mother.
is our system.
That
But you can be the mother if you want to, Fred.
it's all.
Well,
Um,
the womb comes from the womb. The womb comes.
If I may.
What
Right.
you're saying is all true, and it's all practical, and it all should be applied in everybody's life, and you will automatically raise and higher your position in this life. But understand this on a macro level, and it went back to what Mike was saying when he mentioned the debt that is owed. Now understand, but that ties into what I was saying earlier. See, I don't mention every single detail because, for time's sake, but understand this. It's this simple. We were specifically chosen to be the burden bearers and be the inferior class of people in this system. Point blank, period. History has taught us that. We living through history is showing us that. In this system, we are the inferior people, an inferior class of people to the ones who have the power.
Yeah.
But now understand this. This is why we haven't got our reparations.
No.
As everybody, time out. Hold on. Let me explain this.
I know, but you just said that already for 20 minutes.
Let me explain it. Why has everybody else got theirs? Because they're willing to operate within the system. They know black people are fed up. So if we get these niggas at minimum 29 trillion, that's going to automatically cripple their financial and economic system. Now you shifting power to a group of people we already know who are capable of rising above their affliction and their pressure with nothing at all. This is specifically by design. Specifically. Now, are we going to take the poison that they give us and continue to dig our grave deeper and deeper? Because they specifically designed these things to put us in an even worse position. Like, this is all by design. See, you can say what you want, but this American government that we know, they are master manipulators and master planners. While everybody want to party, they planning.
So we can't plan like this.
Yeah, I was just about to say, bro. Hey, can I go, bro?
Shit, this victim.
I'm not.
No, but hey, Fred.
I do not ever subscribe to no victim mentality because I ain't never been a victim. I've been fighting my whole life on every front. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I'm all for the fight. But my thing is this though, like I've mentioned before, and we seen, I can fight for my brother, but if he ain't gonna fight for me, which
we lost you. Anyone else want to?
Yeah. Let me just go ahead and touch on some stuff, bro. Because you see, it's a big fact that we all don't understand, bro. And what we got to understand, I don't know if you guys are aware or believe in the free enterprise system. Because you see, this is the big issue right here. We can't sit there and shoot down the system without trying to learn how to operate in it. Because I hear a lot of y'all saying that, right? And I'm younger than y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, what y'all doing is y'all discouraging me from even wanting to look into shit, for starters.
No, I agree with what you're saying, Rashawn. We definitely have to operate within the system. My thing is that we have to be aware.
Yeah. So the employees, the small business, the big business, and then investors, right? We got to all figure out how to get big businesses and then be investors. How does that work? Off of how much value you put in the marketplace, right? So you got to put value in the marketplace. What you said, and I don't know if Mike's still on here. Mike said that he don't believe that you should have to be a big business owner in order to make that type of money. Yes, you do, bro. Like I know people personally that work their ass off to get to that position, so that income is well earned. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of work to run a big business, so that income is actually earned. We can all do that too if we learn how to operate this system, but most of us are in the 99% bracket over here as small business owners and employees. And when I say small business owner, that basically means you basically run your own shop. You know what I mean? Like the job does not, like if you don't work up and go to work, you don't get paid. It's still the same thing. It's basically a job. Now you got yourself a permanent job. So it's a small business. Big business over 500 people, you are adding value to the marketplace. So you're going to be rewarded that way. But you see, like what he's doing is when you say that you don't need to learn how the system operates, and that's the wrong way of thinking, that stops you from even starting. It reminds me of what I just said, man. A lot of these young black dudes, they kind of slow, bro. They don't know nothing, and it's because of that inferior mindset right there. That right there get put in your head, then you confused.
Wait 1 second, I got to bring someone. I got to bring someone else in. I got to bring some, and I'm gonna close it off at 9 because we ain't doing no 4-hour show tonight. Right. So no more B-mans, no more calls. We good. Hey, Ramen. Go ahead, Ramen. Brother Ramen.
He's on mute.
You on mute, bro? Yeah, you on mute. Thank you, champ. No, I guess. Go ahead, L. All you, L.
All right, look. See, I've always be ambitious, but it's also it also takes a wise man to just take a moment to think about what's being given to him and what's being fed to him and what he's actually taking in and dissecting and analyzing. Everybody talk about I want to be a boss, and this system is
everybody can't be a boss.
For everybody to be bosses. It's impossible. Just do the math. Listen, just simple. It's simple, man. This is simple. You got 10 people, they all want to be bosses. Who the fuck gonna work for them?
No, everybody can't be boss.
Working for somebody. No, if you working for somebody, watch this. If you working for somebody, how are you gonna be able to build your own business?
That's why you gotta be able to do both, bro.
Now watch this. Now hold on. Watch this. Now watch this. If everybody branch off to be their own business owner, it go back to square A. Who gonna work for you? It's impossible for everybody in this system to have equality share, an equal share of what's presented and what's being said to have that you can receive in this system. It's impossible, homie. It's a pipe dream.
That's not true, bro. Like, hey.
Yeah, it's
100% true. Tell me how I'm lying, man. Make it
make I'll make it make sense, and I'll make it make sense real quick.
Let them talk. Let them talk. L, you saying the same thing over. Let
it make sense.
Go ahead, let them respond. Go ahead, Rashad.
Okay, so it's kind of simple, bro. First off, it's a book about it. It's called Business of the 21st Century We are living in a new technology era, bro, where you can do everything from your phone. You don't need no damn employees. You just got, and on a real note, bro, I really understand this, but the issue is it's hard to get other people to understand it. It seems too easy to be true. But bro, when you simply substitute, and this is basic math, like you said, if I get rid of employees and can still run my business, how much of my money goes to me? Like you said, basic math, right? We got to learn how to use technology, bro. Because when you shift everything and get rid of the employees and only do shit like shipping, then you only got to pay for shipping. You only got to pay for warehouse space. You don't got to pay for employees and Medi-Cal, all that other stuff. You don't got to pay these things. You got, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, everyone needs to get the business of the 21st century book and just learn the basic futuristic technology and what's getting ready to come out, bro.
Yeah, you know what Rashawn is saying, sadly, is right. Big businesses, even Walmart, are doing it. You can't, you very rarely have interaction with an individual as far as the cashier. You know what I'm saying? When you're getting your food, it's all self checkout.
All self checkout, and that mess is crazy, bro.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's all self checkout. Same thing that's happening with Amazon.
You go next, Jerry. I'll let you go.
Same thing that's happening with Amazon. They're beginning to use robotics, you know what I'm saying, to store these packages. And you have empty warehouses where you can actually lease these warehouses, you know what I'm saying, and they can come and actually pick their packages up. You don't need employees for that.
Do y'all understand what that ultimately means, though?
Yeah, everybody's gonna lose their jobs, bro. This is what.
That's exactly what that means. You know,
there go the class separation right there.
Exactly.
If you don't have the type of wealth that the men that build America have, you gonna get left behind because you can't even buy into this.
Yeah, you know what?
That's why you have.
Elon Musk is putting out automated trucks that are on the road right now that they're testing.
But you see, you got to understand this, bro. There's people who like literally took the chance and invested in that, bro. And people thought they was crazy when it was time to invest. So are those people lucky, or are they just rich ass people who knew what to invest their money into? Because there's broke people who invested their money into Tesla and they succeeded because they took the risk to get the reward. Come on, y'all. We got to take some risks. Get on out there in the market.
It's nothing wrong with that, but I understand something else, though, man. This is my ultimate knowledge that trumps anything that we even talk about is my divine knowledge. Like, I understand what's going on a divine and a spiritual level that trumps everything, because there is no one man that's going to be able to come and change the problems that we are facing here on earth, because we've seen this cycle just continue to repeat, continue to repeat. If you are one man who can say that you will be able to live comfortably knowing that there's only X amount of people that are living well, living wealthy, and living happy, while there are other people who are starving, dying, and struggling, then how much of a human are you really? Like, I understand that as long as humans continue to rule humans, that we're gonna continue to have this problem, because ain't no human gonna allow and share the wealth equally. It's not gonna happen. It's impossible. Now, if you believe that that's gonna happen, then keep living, and you're gonna just keep learning.
All right, we got Anthony, man. I made this rule tonight, so I feel like, but I'm telling y'all, starting tomorrow, if you beam in after 9, fuck you, because we can't. We already got 5 people in here. After 9, I ain't no more. Go ahead, Anthony.
I'll be quick, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, we good. I'm sorry, Jerry. He was waiting. Sorry, Jerry. You
wow. Yeah, I love to hear what Jerry had to say.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, man, that a lot of times, I mean, I guess y'all didn't like, how I said it last time, but a lot of times it just seems like the point, is being missed in some of the conversations to me. Because L saying the same thing that he said, like he keeps saying I said a week ago, and it's just like it's not moving the conversation isn't moving forward at all. It's just the same thing, and and it doesn't seem like anybody's come up with any resolution to any of these problems that we've been talking about over and over. But the young man that's on there tonight, all he's trying to tell L is, it's just about investing. I mean, that's what he kept saying, investing. So, in that situation, because I don't like the whole narrative where everybody has to be a boss too, but what they're really pushing a lot now is you could be a boss just through investments, buying, stocks and all that type of stuff. So, I don't know if that's something L is into or not, but that's all he's been saying to you, L.
Oh, no. I'm not knocking that idealism. Like I understand. I know exactly how stocks work, man. I know a lot about stocks. I just don't personally like investing my time in it because I grew up making quick money, man. Like before I was 18, it's a well-known fact. Ask all my family members, ask all my friends. I had already touched $1 million before I was 18 years old. I've been making money my whole life, man. Like I just never. But it's fast money though. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fast money. I got addictive behavior qualities, man, and I got addicted to fast money, man. So when I finally want to get down and sit down and learn and really delve into stocks to where I can watch it, then I probably will do it. But right now, I don't have the patience for it. I'm trying to cultivate patience.
Jerry?
Yeah. I'll just give this as my closing statement. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I agree with L. You ain't going to find a civilization in the history of civilizations where everyone's a boss. It just can't work like that. Every civilization, no matter what laws you institute, are going to have a hierarchy, a middle class, and poor. The best, most successful civilizations in the world always had that. That's not by mistake. That's just how it is. When you talk about labor, you can't replace labor with machines in every circumstance. In my business, you can't make a machine that can trim the bushes around the house. Somebody has to do that. 70% of all business is labor. Labor is at the root of it. Now, for example, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all of those places, they've had the technology for that food to be made by robots for years now. For years now, they could have long converted years ago robotics to make the hamburger and put the ketchup on it and stuff. But the reason they don't, and there's a name for it, which I've been trying to think of, but there's a name for this, is this. Those McDonald's employees, they buy food from Wendy's. The Wendy's employees buy food from McDonald's and vice versa and all around the board. But when you take those jobs away, now McDonald's doesn't have a customer base because the people from Wendy's that don't want to eat Wendy's because they eat it all the time, so they go to McDonald's. Now they don't have a job. You see, everybody needs to be a boss, and it's like El said. If you try to replace the system like that, then if you're not a player on that level where you can own the McDonald's, then you're fucked. You got nothing. And that's why you see they say Walmart, McDonald's, all of them are only going to go to robotics for roughly 30% of their staff. And that's the reason. And like I say, there's a name for it in business, what they call this. But what it breaks down to is just what I explained is robots don't spend money. You see what I mean? They might save that employer from hiring those people, but in the grand economic scheme, who the fuck's going to buy the product? Because now nobody has jobs. If you don't own the McDonald's, you don't have any money. You see what I mean? Our system, I think, it's never going to be flawless. Nobody's ever has been. But I think it's pretty good, and it cruxes to me down on what I'm biggest on the most, personal accountability. Go out in the morning, make yourself productive for the day, have a good attitude, do the best you can, and you might not ever be rich, but you're probably going to be okay. That's any and all of us, do your best with a good attitude and be productive. And like I say, you may not going to be rich, but you're probably going to be okay, and you have the opportunity to be rich. If your motivation is at that level and you're convicted to what you're doing, you have a great opportunity to be rich. And when you talk about corrupt governments, Sure, we got corruption in our government. Everyone does, but look no further than Mexico for a real corrupt government, or South America as a whole. Man, we got it a lot better here than what we think. Even with the corporate structure being what it is, which that's a different conversation. But anyway, good talking to you fellas tonight, and good chat.
All right, Jerry. Good night.
Take care, brother.
Good night,
Jeff,
Jerry.
closing remarks, because we got to do cooking with the champ. Go ahead, Al.
What happened to Con?
Great points, everybody. You know, like I always say, I learned a lot. You know, even with amongst the differences, you know, I use these things to my advantage and to my benefit because it's a place for it. But I'm a humanitarian first, and I believe in God before anything. And I understand this. We living in a time where it's an awakening period going on, whether you want to believe it or not. But there's all the signs and evidence that's right before us. And I'll be damned if I put my trust in mortal men who just want to dominate me to my ruin and, you know, hobnob and ego and, you know, cock show that they better. It's to be understood that this is going to occur within imperfect creatures. Like, I understand that, but I want to be able to live in a world where I know that equality actually exists across the board, and I can have a true brotherhood with everybody on earth, and we can all be happy. But as long as you're looking for a man to provide that, you're going to continue to fail, and you're going to fail miserably. I want to be happy. We talk about money a lot, and I'm not one to brag. Just ask the people that know me. I done made millions of dollars, man, and I've never been happy. I've told my mama this, like, I've never been, I don't even want to be rich no more, mama. I just want to be happy because I don't know what that feel like because I can't get it on this earth. I can't get it amongst these imperfect men. I got to put my trust in God. So that's where I would urge everybody to go to, but it ain't for everybody. But I'm going to try to continue to do better at it, and that's what I'm going to provide. That's the knowledge I can give to people, you know. But I appreciate this opportunity, Fred. I appreciate the panel, man. Again, I learned a lot from everybody, and I appreciate all the knowledge and all everybody's geniuses that's on display, man. Y'all brothers have a good night. I love you, Freddie.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all take care.
All right, Al. Be careful out there, man.
Appreciate you. Hey, Ramen, you got to beam in tomorrow, man. You missed it, man. You missed it. Hey, after 9, that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was like, woo, 4 hours?
Right.
Woo. You got
Right.
two kids looking at you 6 o'clock in the morning, like dogs. Hey, go ahead, Anthony. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. I wanted to touch on that Kyrie just a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hear a lot of people, you know, on YouTube talking about it, and you know, a lot of people just I don't know how many people know, but all I can say is this: is the guy was trying to give some awareness, you know, to Black people, you know, to start looking at, you know, looking at some of the things that are coming out. You know, I mean, even though those brothers on those corners, they're not necessarily doing things.
We talking about the Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, like they're not doing things charismatically or anything.
Right.
But you know, when you look back at the prophets in the Bible, a lot of them, you know, that's the way they had to do things the way God told them to do it. And a lot of times it was to you know, bring about some attention. You know what I'm saying? They had to go ham in certain different ways, you know, so they can get the attention of the people. And so, you know, and a lot of them don't have a well versed understanding, but they learn it, and they're trying to put it out there, man, to make the people who came over here by slavery aware of who they are. You know what I'm saying? And then it's things that's in the Bible that people just, I guess, just ignore, don't read. And it even says something about those people in that land being, calling themselves the Jews, but are not, they, you know, saying that they lied, you know. Right. So I just think people should get off of him and instead, you know, just go ahead and see what you can learn about it. And if you're interested, if you're not, then that's it. Because he really didn't say. as far as I know, he didn't say anything. He just
No, he didn't.
posted, or reposted a tweet or something about this movie that he watched. I just don't understand why you just can't watch it and go about your business. But it's because you have to look at it and wonder why. Why are they so upset? Why do they want to shut this dude up? You know what I'm saying? Like that should be that should be the train of thought. Like, dang, he just said that wasn't nothing. Somebody else had already posted it. Why they all on his head? Man, let's see why they on this guy neck like that. Because are they trying to cover something up? You know what I mean? I mean, but just to jump on that dude like that, and then for those other guys who don't understand, I mean, the other ball players and the who is the Shaq and the Barkley. Yeah, man. I mean, when you don't understand something, man, I think it's best to just be quiet. I mean, anybody else can talk about their religion and what they believe, right? He can't just make a retweet what somebody else put on there without him have to go through all this this walk of shame. It's ridiculous, man. But that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to say, man.
Ray Sean, what's up? Go ahead. Appreciate you, Anthony. Thank you.
Man. Take care, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, I just want everybody to understand, bro, because I'm listening, and it's like, it's very deep to understand, bro, that we all have equal opportunities as far as trying to expand and have our own business. I'm not going to say that you won't get treated a certain type of way, but everyone is presented the same opportunity, which is the free enterprise system. And y'all should all take the time out to learn about it because, bro, it's crazy, but it's the truth, bro. And anybody can make themselves wealthy by simply understanding these things, bro. And it's sad how us as men sit there and say things like that as far as like, we shouldn't learn the system and this system, because I'm starting to hear it more and more, and it just stand out to me. I'm not trying to pick at nobody, but we gotta educate, right, guys? Because by educating and everybody learning about that, then we can all get ourselves wealthy and in position to actually do something. And that don't even have to be out loud. You quietly can, build yourself up, because that's the issue, bro. Like, these people, they quietly built themselves up. And I'm talking about the hip hop people. They get themselves to that level, then they try to speak out on how they probably really feel, but they by themselves, bro. They by themselves, and they just get jumped and drowned and pushed out. Then they back to square one, begging for forgiveness, realizing they just need to think about their damn self. Because obviously the people ain't with them, and they ain't jumping up to support them in these equations. So the real key, as I really believe, is, coming full circle around and learning how we can all get ahead and duplicating, because the key is really duplication. To add on to that, I just wanted to end it all by letting everybody know my son is the Northern California champion now in boxing, y'all, and we will be going to the California finals, y'all. Just in case y'all didn't know. We will be going to compete in the California finals in Compton in December, y'all. So we will be out there in LA.
Hey, you from the Bay Area?
No, I'm from Sacramento, bro. But we definitely won all out there too, bro. We actually fighting in San Ramon this weekend, so I will be in the Bay Area this weekend.
Hey,
that's all right,
man. If I would have known that, man, I wouldn't even plan on going to this fight. What?
That's cool.
Fighting Conquer when?
We're fighting in San Ramon this Saturday, November 11th.
Dang.
Then after that, I ain't taking no more little local fights. We straight to LA. We winning in LA, then we going to nationals in Kansas.
What weight class?
My son's a peewee, bro, but he's 95 pounds. He's a heavy boy. He's 10 years old. 95 pounds. You gotta follow me on Instagram, bro. I'm gonna tag you in some stuff. You're gonna see what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, man.
I see y'all post everything, father and son stuff, bro. That's all I do, but I don't want to show off, bro. Like I don't want to.
Show off, man.
No, you gotta understand.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna look like I'm showing off, bro.
Nah, man. Fuck all that, man. Show off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put the work in. Fuck how they feel.
Yeah.
Work harder than shit.
But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and end it off and say that. And once again, bro, take the time out to learn about the quadrants, y'all, because 99% of us is on this employee side and have employee mindsets, bro, which is another reason why y'all should think about. I'm not saying we don't deserve reparations, but with an employee mindset, your ass getting handed reparations, you ain't gonna know what to do with it. So I'm gonna end on that note, bro. You guys have a good night.
Appreciate you.
Right.
Appreciate you.
You too, brother.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Champion, huh? What it do, baby? What it do? Champion heart. Champion heart. Champion heart. What's up, champion heart?
ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head. I'm seeing, take me for granted. You know I'm leaving. I'm gonna take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go healing. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up, got too little time.
All right, thank you for joining me for another episode. All right, let me give a shout out to Trio Boxing. Salute to my brother Black, my Chicago sister, CC Robinson, and of course, my big dog, 78 Sports TV. You check them out on YouTube, Trio Boxing. All right, we got something real special today. Let me show you this. We've got extra large king crab legs. Whoa. This is gonna be good. All right, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake these and we're gonna make a spinach risotto that's gonna go with those humongous king crab legs. All right, show you how to do that. We'll be right back. Okay, all right, so what we wanna do is we wanna go ahead and then get our onions sauteed for our Parmesan spinach risotto. Okay, so we added a couple tablespoons of avocado oil, a tablespoon of butter. Okay, and we're going to add our chopped up onions. All right, and our fennel. All right, now fennel may be foreign to some, but it's FENNELL. It's going to add a really nice flavor. It's going to sweeten it and really give us some flavor. You know, my thing is awesome flavor. Now, I'm going to add some mushrooms to this Parmesan spinach risotto. Now, you know me by now. You know, mushrooms they're a superfood. So whenever I get a chance, I always try and add mushrooms to anything. All right, I want to show you real quick what the fennel looks like. Okay, and what you do, the part that you want to use is the bottom. You just cut it and chop it up. All right, and this is what it looks like. I just want to show you that so that you know what it looks like when you see it in the store. All right, okay, so what we want to do first is we want to go ahead and we want to get the meat out of our crab legs. Okay, so what you want to do is see what the joints are. That's where you want to break them. Okay. That's what the joints are. Okay. Okay, so now we have our kitchen scissors, kitchen scissors, and what we're going to do is jag it for a reason. Okay, for cutting the shell. Okay, and just going to simply cut them like that. All right, and then go ahead and separate our meat from our crab legs. Now, let me tell you, this is kind of an expensive meal tonight. So what you want to do is, this is something that you want to prepare. You know, you want a special occasion because these extra large king crab legs are pretty expensive. So you want to plan this for a especially. Okay, all right. So the one thing with crab is when you're cutting it out of the shell, you want to try and be as careful as possible and really not cause too much trauma to the meat. Okay, so we got a little trauma, but everything's cool. We're gonna go ahead and spray it down. So avocado oil. Okay, and go ahead and make our Old Bay seafood seasoning mix. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of garlic. You can never go wrong with a little bit with garlic. It's always gonna give you the extra flavor that you need. Okay, and we're gonna use about a tablespoon and a half there. Then we're gonna go ahead and add our rice. Okay, now I did not finish cooking my rice because I'm gonna actually finish it in the skillet. Okay, so I didn't finish cooking it in the cooker, in the rice cooker. So I'm gonna finish it here. All right. Okay, so, and we're gonna go ahead and add our mushrooms. Like I said, this is just something that I do because, again, mushrooms is a superfood. Okay, now you want to use your vegetable broth. Okay, this is a cup of vegetable broth, and you just use this accordingly because as you use it, of course, it's going to absorb. So you may have to add here and there. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and add our spinach because that's going to cook down. We're going to let that finish cooking, and then we're going to go ahead and make our butter base for our for our crab legs. Okay, all right, so we've already sprayed down our crab. We want to go ahead and add lemon juice. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and do basting with our Old Bay seafood seasoning mix. You guys have seen me make this 1,000 times, so just refer to no video so that you see how I break down the measurements and things of that sort. So there's no need for me to do that again. Like I said, you guys have seen me make this 1,000 times. And we're gonna get this ready. Go into the oven. All right, your oven temperature is on 350. That's all you need. You just want to keep an eye on it. You don't want them to cook long. They'll dry out. All right, that's all you need. Okay, and then go back in the oven and just keep an eye on it. All right, so our spinach risotto is done. We're gonna go ahead and finish it off with our Parmesan cheese. All right, this is good to go. All right, and we're done. Okay, we've got our king size extra large crab legs with our Parmesan spinach risotto. Okay, so let's do the taste test. All right, and here we go with the taste test.
She excited.
You like that? Good. All right, how's that lobster? I'm sorry, how was that crab leg? Crab legs, how's that crab leg?
Flavor's good. All right. And there we go. Thank you for another episode. Check with the chat, and we'll see you next week.
All right, brother.
How long?
I can't hear you.
How long did that take?
To do that meal? Probably about probably about 45 minutes.
35?
Probably about 45.
45. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not long.
Risotto is kind of, is it tangy, sour? Like,
well, the fennel gives it a nice flavor.
Yeah.
That's why I added that fennel.
Yeah. Dre made it a couple of times. Yeah.
She must not put the fennel in there.
I don't know how she did it, but I didn't care for it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That fennel gives it a nice flavor.
Okay. Yeah, you added that cheese to it.
Yeah. Then that Parmesan on there.
I've never made crab legs ever in my life. Never made.
Really?
I've never made any shellfish. Well, I'm allergic to shrimp, so I just cut out all. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm allergic to lobster or even
you haven't tried it.
crabs or anything. Like, I'm not allergic to crab because I had crab cakes before. So
okay.
I may not even be allergic to shrimp anymore. I don't know. Can you grow out of being allergic?
Yeah, you can.
I may not even be allergic to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'll go by and find out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh man. But
that's what's up.
Nah, thank you for coming. You want to give your closing remark, and make sure you guys go to Cooking with the Champ, man, and support him. Man. Weekly shows, man, and yeah, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you for making it. Thank you.
Most definitely, man. Man, I want to say that last night I was proud of my boy Kyle. You know, the way he broke down understanding Michael Fuller and Max, and you know his perspective on breaking their characters down to try and get people to understand how these cats are, because a lot of people take them the wrong way. And it's funny because I get Mike, you know what I'm saying, and when Kyle broke it down on how he is, I already knew that just confirmed it for me. You know what I'm saying? When he broke it down the way he did, I was like, man, so that made me proud of my boy last night, man. He was on point with that. I thought that was really cool.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I'm just out here trying to enlighten the people,
Right. Right. Yeah. Salute to you, brother. Most definitely. But let me say this real quick, man. I keep hearing cats say this about Tariq with the museum thing, and it's like, people don't seem to have the Jews have a Holocaust museum. Where's the energy? Where's the energy for that? You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is, he has a building. Let's see if he builds on what he already has. You know what I'm saying? What he advertised and what he ended up getting was not the same thing. So let's just see what he does with it.
Man,
see,
that's the thing, man. When you put out, this is the thing. When you come to us and you asking for money, you got to deliver, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no time to wait and see. You got to deliver.
Well, but he did deliver. He did get the building. It wasn't like a thing with Dr. Umar thing where it was 7-8 years in the making.
What kind of building did he get? Have you seen it?
Who, Umar?
No. We know he probably did $700. We talking about this.
Yeah. Umar talking about $700,000, and he got 200 houses. I haven't seen it for just basically what he was. what he showed. Have you seen it, Fred?
I've driven by it because I'm in that area, but I haven't stopped and looked at it. But it's not a museum. It's basically like a kind of like a business office. It's not even big enough to
It's not
be.
big enough. So
No,
there's
not.
no way to build on it as far as expanding it.
It's California, man. Ain't no fucking way.
You can't
do that.
See,
Code,
man.
code enforcement and all that.
This is why we're in the place we're in now. This is exactly why we're in the place we're in now. Because every time we try to believe and trust in somebody, it always end up being a damn scammer, man.
Yeah, I get that. If that's if it's not big enough to do what he was saying, then yeah, that's not a good look. That's a bad look. Definitely a bad look. But I guess what remains to be seen is how I do it. When I come out there and check it out, then I'll have a better perspective. But one thing that
Next time I go by there, I'll do a video. It's in my wheelhouse, but I'm not into but I'll do it for the channel. But I'm not calling the man out or anything like that. I just believe the mode in which he's taking is the same mode that MLK did, Farrakhan, COVID, and George Floyd, and we got nothing. So,
right. I see your point.
It's just cyclical, and it's not getting us anywhere.
Right. Yeah, I see your point on that. Yeah, most definitely. I guess we'll see how it pans out. What was I about to say? Oh, you know what, man? You're right about these small towns.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, with me being out on the road doing the hot shot runs, man, I discovered a town in where was it? It was in I think it was in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in Oregon, and it kind of set in a valley. And in California they got those big windmills. They got like fields of those giant windmills.
Right.
Well, this particular town that I was in, 2 windmills that size powered that whole town. They set right in the middle of the town.
Wow.
And they powered that whole town, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm moving.
Man.
No.
But it made me think, that look, man, I don't understand why these cats, won't put their resources together. And you can buy a town for what is it? I was checking out I think you sent me a video of was it Tahaka Bay? And he was talking about a town in Michigan that you could buy for 1.5 million.
I'm gonna show you guys what I sent my dudes yesterday.
And I went and researched the town, and he's right. And it's got its own water resources. I mean, it's got everything. All you need to do is go in there with a little bit more resources and build on this town, and you got a whole town. It's crazy.
And you're 30 minutes away from the city. You're 30 minutes away. Like,
yeah.
Like you spend your time in your house. You don't spend your time in,
Yeah.
And maybe this will inspire y'all. But I had these properties I sent to my friends in my accountability group yesterday. And one of them texted me back, say, if y'all can read it, he says, what'd he say? Those look like Fred, those look pretty desolate spots. If you're looking to start a cult, then I think you nailed it. But I'm serious, man. Like,
right, man. Yeah,
I'm so done. Like, my mind is like, I'm so off of this shit, man. And
yeah, man. If I don't retire overseas, I'm gonna look into one of these small towns, man.
Yeah.
I've come up on some beautiful places, man. Just making these deliveries in these small towns, and I'm like, man, if I don't go overseas, I know where I'm gonna look. Start looking at a couple of these small towns, man.
Ah, you're right. Man, this dumbass hustling that I did for 15 years, man, 10 or 15 years, I didn't have to do it, So
yeah,
you live and you learn. You
That's
live
true.
and you learn.
That's true.
Live and you
Most
learn.
definitely.
And
That's true.
hopefully you turn that information into practice. That's what wisdom is.
Right. Right, and that's and that's what it's about. Believe that.
No, you're right.
Right. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
It's all love, man. Cooking with the champ, man. Go subscribe. Cooking with the champ.
Most definitely. I got your Philly steak coming, Kyle. I got you coming. I'm gonna give you a shout out too, man. You need to send me some merch, man.
Bro, I gotta get something made, man. I'm always getting scammed, man. So I think I might have got scammed again, man.
Oh,
Damn, man, Kyle, you a lit.
Listen. I be trying to believe in niggas, man. That's all. I be trying to believe in niggas, man. And they end up always biting me in the ass, man.
Everybody can't go, man. Everybody can't go. But man, salute to you, brothers, man. And I'm gonna get with y'all, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Man.
All right. I actually want to respond to a few the internet tripping. That's you, Kyle. A few talking points that we had. When L said we are the chosen ones. That's not true. The truth is Africa is the only continent with oil, diamonds, and gold, and surrounded by water, warm water. So, and the equator makes us dark. So it's not like they said, "Oh, we're going to enslave black people." No, we're going to conquer Africa, niggas, because it's the only place in the world where it got all these three resources. That's the truth. That's why the Europeans, the Romans, and now the Chinese are invading Africa and want to colonize Africa. It wasn't the people, it was the resources. And because when you go above that, the temperatures drastically change. Mongolia, Eurasia, shit is frozen. So that's the reality of it. Black people wasn't chosen. It was the resources on the continent that ultimately, when it was discovered, that made them colonized. And Africa is one of the few places, just like America, where you can enter from any point on the continent. You understand? So you don't have to go through the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, and so on and so forth. So the accessibility was at 100% basically, and you got to get the resources. So that's the reason. That's the reason why black people wasn't chosen. The land was chosen. And two, we all can be a boss. And what I mean by that is we're thinking like employees and employers. You can make $1,000 on YouTube. You can make $1,000 out your trunk. You can make $2,000 a month from the stock market, in so many different ways, along with keeping your day job, whatever job that you wanted, So we all have boss in us. I think we got to get out of the mind frame of employee, employer. Get up, your alarm goes off, you get in the car and you go off and you go to work. And without sacrifices, you're never ever going to see the true benefits of your work, and I think this speaks to a bigger point. No matter where we fall short, if you believe in God, especially many of us, not too many young guys beam in, but I think if you're like 35, I'm 45, so 35, 30, somewhere in there. If you believe in God and you give power to your faults, like L was given power to his faults, right? Then you don't truly believe in God. Because you can't say I believe in God and give absolute power to your faults. You can't believe in God and say I'm gonna kill that nigga. You can't believe in God and say sue whoop. You can't believe in God and say I'm a pimp. You can't believe in God and say I'm an alcoholic, I'm a crackhead, that means you don't have true faith in God. You you don't believe that God can heal you of it because you physically, emotionally, and spiritually reside in it. And although I was the L is the L, I'm using L, but that goes to this systemic mindset that we have. I've never I'll say rarely, but I haven't seen it yet on this show where a person has ultimately made that sacrifice knowing that they're 20 points down. You understand what I'm saying? Like that made those sacrifices and created because they knew the situation that they were in. I see it all across the internet, people drinking, people smoking, doing lives, drinking and smoking and then complaining. Oh, YouTube ain't sending out my notifications, but you drinking and smoking. So that means I don't understand that at all. Like I don't understand how you can complain and you drinking and smoking and you partying and you game banging and I don't grasp that at all because you're not making the sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? So in order for you to believe in God, you got to make sacrifice. And I don't believe, and this is just me. I don't care what your illness is, outside of cancer, outside of, the shit that you can't cure on your own. I don't believe if you've had a sickness for 5 or 10 years, your faith in God is weak. You're a weak human being. And this is the accountability that we don't have with our cousins. And because there's 7 out of 10 people don't live with their both biological parents, you are a weak motherfucker if you've had the same problem for 5 years. Because if your favorite boxer didn't have a jab his whole career, you would call him he's not smart. Shaq never was 80% from the free throw line. He didn't value it. That ultimately was the separation between Kobe and Shaq. Shaq was a partier. Kobe was a worker. The city of LA loves Kobe, and we like Shaq. So, and it's we see it in our family. So we can leave the chat and look at our family that's coming over for Thanksgiving. Our cousins, they got pink lips. They alcoholics. They smoke weed. At least I have in my family. They doing that sniffing shit. They don't believe in God like they say they do because their pain going through them withdrawals is stronger than their faith in God. Simple. It's a simple equation. I didn't say it was easy. It's easy. I didn't say it's going to be overnight. But I think as a 40-plus-year-old man, I know it takes sacrifice. Simple as that. And that's just where I'm at. And that's the Black community as a whole. New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta now Houston, now Dallas. Same problems. So, Kyle, go ahead. Kyle gone. Kyle, you got on mute.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, Fred.
Oh, you at work, man? You work all. Kyle, you work every night. Yeah, Kyle working, man. Man, you too loud, man. I'll holler at you.
Hold on. I took an extra shift because my homeboy was going out of town, so
Okay, no
we needed
biggie.
somebody to cover it. Yeah, this is a good show, though, man. A lot of great information was passed along, man. But you know, the grind we gotta elevate the grind.
Yeah, I mean it's real simple. Like, we all have flaws, you know. Some of us is not drugs, it's pussy. Some of us is not alcohol, it's gang banging. Some of us is not gang banging, it's obesity. You know, like we all got the vices. It's not, no one is excused from this, but if that vice is stronger than your faith, you don't love God like you say you do. Now we can pretend, oh, everyone got problems. Everybody goes through it. It's the same thing when black people say, well, the Jews do it. Who gives a fuck? Well, a white man does it. And by the way, Abrams lost. It's official. I'm so happy. I'm happy. If she would have won, then it would have been, I think it would have been a bigger divide. Now I think we really got to hone in on the building. You know, they tried to cheat. They tried to cut corners, but you can't cut corners in this. You can't cut corners for real. You know, and I think the Democratic Party in the state of Georgia really tried to has done some underhanding stuff. You know, because where there's smoke, there's fire. And now I just think we just need to build through family. And if you believe in God, you believe in God. Trust God. But I think that's where we need to build from. You know what I mean? And that's just it. So
Stacey Abrams lost, huh?
yeah.
Is that good or bad for us?
I think it's better for the state of Georgia because I hopefully it'll galvanize the minorities and get someone that'll work. You know, I've never seen Stacey Abrams around family. She was twerking and shit to get votes and shit. I don't like that. You're wearing a dress and twerking like dancing, like doing the ignorant dances. Yeah, it's online and shit. Yeah, it's online and shit. You know, so it's it is what it is, man. And I didn't say she was bending over twerking, but she was doing that. She was doing that contemporary nigga shit to get votes. For real, I didn't like that. And the fact that they praised her for registering 1 million votes statewide and she lost, but Biden won. That's weird to me that Biden won and she lost. Yeah, they stuffed them ballots for real. So, but yeah, man, let's get the fuck out of here, man. I appreciate you guys coming through, man. I'm pretty sure we'll continue some form of this conversation tomorrow. And tomorrow's Wednesday. And so 9 o'clock. I'm not taking no more. So beam in before 9 or call in before 9. Because
we need that mute button. We need that mute button too.
And and we're gonna do that. Oh, next week too. Thank you, Al. What I'm gonna say? Yeah. So we're gonna incorporate the fans, and I created a way where I can monetize the channel, and you guys can still have free speech. So we're gonna have a mute button where you guys can pay them to mute people. So if you want L to be quiet, you pay, he shuts down. And if you want him to come back, you pay, he comes back up. So we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna through the Cash App or through you can't do it through so you gotta do it through Cash App. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your people. Yeah, so we'll do it that way, man. You know what I mean? And
Hernandez.
We'll do it that way. That'll be fun, man. That'll be fun. So we'll do like I appreciate you. Yeah, we'll do like a $20 mute button. So y'all niggas can cash at me and I'll put it on camera. And as soon as and it's not my idea. I saw this on Blu-ray sent me a video. Shout out to Blu-ray. He sent me a video of the Fight Club. So it's not my idea. It's not my idea. It's their idea. And that's it. So it should be fun. It should be fun. Yeah, we'll do a $20 mute button. That's what we'll do. So if you tired of Deacon talking, as soon as you send it in, I'm kicking that nigga off. I don't give a fuck. If you tired of Michael, Dr. Fuller, get him out of here. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Motherfuckers gonna be mad. I love it. Hey, we need that in the shop too. We need it. 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 Oh man. So I encourage y'all, man, take a trip through Middle America. Drive on the way to your grandma's house this summer, man, and do some research on the cities that you're driving through. And you're gonna be amazed how it's just like Los Angeles, how it is just like Houston. And stop believing all white people hate you. Stop believing that shit, man. Don't fall for that shit, man. There's good versus evil, man. And everyone is tribal, okay? Stop, black people, stop getting mad when white people become tribal. What do you expect them to do? Don't get mad. You become tribal with your last name. Start with your last name. And then move forward. Motherfuckers think the Democrats gonna save their ass. Or the Republicans. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Got some nerve to talk about us while you benefiting from the Dreamers Act from MLK. I'm going to benefit from whatever this country has to offer. That's the reality. That's the genius. That's the wisdom in me. I don't give a fuck it come from the Republicans or the Democrats. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Damn. He got his arm sliced wide open. Damn. Woo. Damn. Pat Moran, if you want to Google it. He sliced the man's arm wide open. Damn. Appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.